Some people go travelling and never come back.
A friend of mine had just finished visiting Angkor Wat Temple, and I met him on a holiday in Thailand, and he said, "You have to see Angkor Wat. It's absolutely amazing. You'll never see anything like it." At that point, I didn't even really know what Cambodia was, and I fell in love with the country. And I'm still here now, 7 years down the line. I was looking for a little bit of adventure. I came looking for a little bit of danger. I seem to have found it in Cambodia. This latest rally raid has basically been the culmination of 3 years' work, setting up something that has never been done in this country before, and myself and Ben have got no background in setting up motorcycle off-road events. This year's rally raid travels from Siem Reap to the unexplored areas of Pre Khan and Pre Vihir Temple. It's certainly very remote, unexplored by any sorts of tourism apart from ourselves. We're currently in Siem Reap. At the moment, we have 25 Khmer riders and 25 foreign riders. Guys coming from far fields, Texas or Amsterdam, Sydney. Well, everyone's left the hotel. We're going to head down to Caltex now for the press conference, and then we'll get on the way to Angkor Wat, and then we'll get the hell out of town. They're going to be very pleased to see the back of us. A lot of noise, a lot of smoke, a lot of burnouts and wheelies. We are not very popular at the moment.
Good morning, Siem Reap. Here we are to start the Caltex over here, Rally Raid 2000.
We've got a very mixed bag, from the local Cambodian riders with very, very nice motorcycles, top of the range riding gear, riding boots, and ability in buckets. They can ride, they want to ride and ride hard all day, as much as possible. Then at the other end of the scale, we've got middle-aged guys flying in from the States who are up for the adventure and have been doing it all their lives. But they're not 19 anymore, and they're not running around at 120 k's an hour.
Yeah, let's go!
Jumped on the bikes and the pickup trucks, went down to the temples. Ripped up the lawns outside the temples, Angkor Wat, which probably wasn't in the best of taste, but it was good fun. But it would be a little bit like going to Canterbury Cathedral and pulling wheelies up on the front of the tea lawn in front of Canterbury. So, not in the best of taste, potentially. Let the adrenaline cool down slightly, and then we jumped on the road from Siem Reap to Kampong Thom.
On the surface, these guys seem like bad lads. Keep watching.
The highway coming from Siem Reap down to Kampong Thom, like years gone past, I remember sitting in a taxi and you'd find people on the side of the road filling in the potholes, and everybody threw money out the windows because the more potholes that were filled in, the faster you could go and the less chance there was of getting hijacked.
The worst part of that highway is the fact that it was built in the 1960s and sections of the tarmac still remain now. It hasn't been maintained in 30 years, and it's full of large potholes. It's tough on the body, it's tough on the bike. The circus comes to town. We go out 40, 50 motorcycles, and the local people think it's absolutely hysterical.
It's obvious the Khmers love these guys, because they not only speak their language, but also provide vital medical supplies and business in remote areas.
We try and come up with a charitable theme for each of the different rallies, because we want to be putting something back into the communities that we're going through, because they give us so much. This year's charitable theme is distributing iodized salt and condoms throughout the areas that we're going through. Local people can't get their hands on this salt, so as we're going through, we're distributing that. I like day one. Day one was fun. Day two, we leave Kampong Thom first thing in the morning. 90 kilometres out of Kampong Thom on the road north to Bang Menche, we'll hit a small village called Svai Pak, where we've got a petrol stop. The support truck is dropping off 200 litres of fuel in order for us to refuel. Then we're heading off the main Logan Highway onto the road to Praia Khan, which is the original Angkorian route, runs directly east to west. From there, the road gets a lot more difficult. It's deep sand and jungle, rainforest. Difficult on a motorcycle. The sand is hard going. The road is a succession of ox cart tracks that link their way through the jungle and various areas of rice production. The next 56 kilometres will probably take us 3.5 to 4 hours without stoppages, without breakdowns, without getting lost in the jungle. It'll take at least 3.5 hours, which will then lead us up to the Praia Khan temple, where we'll be staying the night. Right, we're here. We made it to Praia Khan. As soon as you approach the temple through the jungle, it has a feel of Angkor about it. You can feel the magic in the air. We chose Praia Khan because of its remote location, the fact that it is the third biggest temple in the country and it's still completely untouched. 1,000 years it's been in the jungle. Very, very few people have ever seen the temple. It is a hidden temple. This is really Indiana Jones country.
Yeah, it certainly was a tough road. Looks like it took out about 3 or 4 motorcycles, and mine was one of them, unfortunately. But at least here there's a bit of shelter to work on the bikes and everything. A bit of bush mechanics and a packet of cornflakes. Really a packet of cornflakes. They do come in handy sometimes. You might be ready to go again. I can't say the same for the other bikes, but... We arrived here a little bit earlier in the day. And since then there's been a few people just like gone off and wandered around, looking at the temples, getting a few photos in, watching sunset.
It seemed to be in the main part of the temple at Praia Khan. It seemed to be. The way that I just came in is along the old causeway, which would have been raised up, and all the area around would have been a moat, basically. And then here, this would have been the main entrance in. So you would have come up some steps, bowing your head to be respectful, and then you'd walk straight in through the main door. So somewhere in there should be some kind of a main praying area, basically. There would have been lots of shrines for lots of different gods, and each god has their step in the ladder. So because we've just come into the main sanctuary, that one there and the one over there would have been a minor god. And as you got further in, there would probably be, where that bunch of bushes is, just where the sun's going down, would have been the main temple. That would have been Shiva or something like that. That would have been a main god. These temples were used as ammo stores and, you know, fortresses and stuff. So they mined everything. So you don't stand on the dirt.
Well, there are a few landmines around here, apparently. So we've been told they've demined the immediate area where we are at the moment, but obviously further into the bush is yet to be cleared.
If you step on the landmine, the last thing you'll hear is the click as it activates as you take your foot off it. To the local people, it is a great danger. They go out collecting firewood, they lose a limb.
And the bike just goes and sinks. You know, a bunch of other people. So that was like... Oh, that's out of me.
We're filling a ketchup bottle, a tomato sauce bottle up with gasoline. And we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to put that bottle into the fire because we're drunk. Well, if you say, hey man, you know, all these guys went out into the jungle, got sauce out their skulls, and started throwing bottles of gasoline into the fire, that would scare off tourists.
Cleaning up, always a good idea. It's plastic. Plastic's really bad. Plastic bags are the scourge of this country.
Not much happens in a small village like this, month in, month out, so you know, this will be the big event for the month. I'm sure they'll be talking about it for a few days to come. But I mean, obviously the more people that come through here, the more money that gets put back into the shops in the local village here and whatnot, so I'm sure they're quite pleased with what's going on here. For people who've been on our tours before or rallies before, they know what to expect, and that's to expect the unexpected. We're here in the provincial town of Skun, which is famous for its tarantulas. These are the spiders that they grow here. They're deep fried in oil with sugar. So, not bad at all, but I never eat the big bits. Very chenanga. Tastes really good. A little bit sweet because I think it's the MSG and the sugar in the boiled oil. So really, not too bad at all. So these are the actual live ones that they grow. They actually put them in a farm, and they've actually taken the nippers off them so they don't hurt. Because if you get bitten by these, your arm will swell up, and probably very painful experience lasting for about 3 days. But these are quite safe to play with. I'm not going to play with it. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Bengmenche is the provincial town of the province of Prey Bahia. It's a very small town. There's 2 main roads in town, road number 1, road number 2. When I first came here looking for guest houses, I stumbled across an NGO.
My name's Bud Gibbons. I work with Vietnam Veterans of America Foundation. We basically work with disabled people. In Cambodia alone, there are approximately 35 to 40,000 estimated amputees. Most of these people have lost their legs to landmines. They estimated when I got here in '94 that there were enough landmines for every man, woman, and child in Cambodia, 10 million. We have provided limbs like this to around 400 amputee people. We hit upon the idea of growing silkworms, producing good quality silk, and training people in the process of raising silkworms, working with silk, and weaving silk scarves and silk sarongs. When we started, I started with 5 women amputee women. So from that 4 years ago, we now have 82 people, probably 65 or 68 of them, maybe 70, are disabled, either with amputee, arm amputee, polio. We have 3 blind people in the project.
The project really is just mind-blowing. What he's achieved, what he's completed, from not just addressing their income problems, but certainly also schooling, housing.
If we can sell 2,000 sarongs and 4,000 scarves in 1 year, we can produce them, we can support this project and find a way for it to grow and employ more people. It's about jobs. That's what this is about.
Ben especially has felt it on this trip. The old saying, how do you take the fun out of a party? And has to organise it.
I don't think we're going to see a profit, even though we have had a large backing from our main sponsors this year. But we didn't make a profit last year. We didn't make a profit the year before that.
Totally successful. 100% because no one got killed. We might have broken a couple of bones, but apart from that, I think everyone's had a really, really good time. If you can deal with the hardships of living here, if you can ride the roller coaster long enough without throwing you off, and keep smiling, keep enjoying it, this is the country of opportunity now, for Westerners and Khmers alike. The things we've done here have been wild and interesting, and the opportunities have been given to me on a plate. The thing is, it is a mentally tiring place to live. The Grim Reaper is only ever 1 step behind you here, whereas in the West he's 2 steps and he's slightly hidden in the shadows. Here you see death close up and personal. I've seen a lot of people die over the past 7 years, which you wouldn't see back home. Cambodia has given me everything I ever wanted and taken away everything I've ever loved, which I suppose is a fair trade.
Here's till next year's rally, and let's hope it's more extreme than this year's.
Yeah, man.
Whatever you think of these guys, let us know.
Dusted.
Just remember, life is never black or white.